So Tuesday over at Prizepicks, who do you think is going to be the taco today? Let me know. Hey, good morning. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, here, back with another NBA early look Prizepicks video. I've got 5 picks for you, 3 that I like that are official picks, 2 that I'm going to talk about that I'm again on the fence with. We hit the on the fence when yesterday I had the 2 that were I wasn't quite sure about, and that was Finney Smith over 17.5 points, rebounds, assists. He put up 26, and then under on Brunson 4 assists, and he had 0. So we hit both of the ones that I was on the fence with yesterday. Hopefully we can hit him today. Yesterday wasn't bad. Missed on Mobley, but we hit Garland is over 9.5 assists with 17. And then on the main card, LeBron James over 29.5 points. He put it to Cleveland in Cleveland. I thought he'd show up for that game. Put up 38. Durant over 6 assists. He put up 8. Levine over 4.5 assists. He put up 6. And then we missed on Kevin Porter Jr. over 23.5 points, rebounds, assists. He put up 18. And then Rozier over 30.5 points, rebounds, assists. He only put up 20. So he went 6-3 on the day yesterday. Not too bad. We'll just keep on rolling. Like I said, I got 3 official plays, 2 that are a little funky first half plays that I dug into a little bit. And then we have 2 that I'm on the fence. So we'll dive right into those. But again, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if any of this information is relevant or helpful to you. I appreciate you guys. And let's just keep this train on rolling. Let's go. All right, as you can tell, I have the Prizepicks desktop version up here. If you do not have an account, make sure you head on over there and use that promo code DFSArmy and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. And if you do not have a Prizepicks account in your first sign up, you are eligible for a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership, which includes our awesome Prizepicks tool, which takes my projections and bounces them off the Prizepicks API, and it will tell you which is the best edge, and it updates automatically all day long. It's pretty sweet. All right, we got 5 picks for you here. We're going to talk about the 2 that I'm on the fence with first, because I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with them. It's a 4-game slate, so keep that in mind, right? Play lighter on these games, on these slates that are smaller like this. So we kind of have to get funky, and that's why I found a couple first half plays I like. But these 2, I wouldn't play them in the same. I wouldn't play these guys together. But I did want to mention both of them here. And we're talking about Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson, both over 25 fantasy points and 33 fantasy points. I'm leaning more Reggie Jackson here. He's done pretty well in the past against Denver. Marcus Morris seems to be up and down, but has been better of late. Went over this in 3 of his last 5 games. But it's those times where he just completely disappears. But going against Denver, they're ranked 12th in points allowed. They're ranked 5th in rebounds allowed, 16th in assists allowed. So, yeah, it's one of those things where he's just all over the place. He projects really well, into the low 30s. So we have some stuff there, but it's just, is he going to show up? Again, he's been playing better late, and that's why I'm kind of like, you might want to dig into this one a little bit more. I couldn't pull the trigger on him personally, but he stood out a little bit because we don't have a lot, guys. If we look at this, I don't really want to touch too many of the Orlando guys against Golden State. They're out without Steph Curry, but they have everybody else, basically, in Wiggins, Draymond, Clay. So I don't really want to touch those guys. But Reggie Jackson is the one that I think I could lean a little bit heavier on. He's been pretty good over his last time. Ran into a buzzsaw in Utah, but that happens with a lot of people. But has been really good here. And he's got points, rebounds, and assists. I don't mind as well, but I think I'd rather go fantasy score, get him a steal or 2, and that kind of adds up with those. They count as 3. So again, I wouldn't play these together, but I still kind of lean Reggie Jackson on the over fantasy points if you want to put that in some of the ones that I'm going to give you here with the 3. So let's get into the 3 picks that I did find here. One of them the first one here makes me a little bit nervous because he's just so streaky at times, but it's Evan Fournier going up against Atlanta, over 14.5 points here. He's went over this in 3 of his last 5 games. Atlanta is 21 in points allowed, 24th in field goal percentage allowed. And then for him, he's a 3-point shooter, 22nd in 3 points allowed and 25th in 3-point percentage allowed. He's played Atlanta 3 times this year and has went over this mark in all 3 times. Back on November 27th, he put up 20. December 25th, he put up 15. And on January 15th, he put up 18. So he's had really good success here against Atlanta, and I think a lot of that has to do with their weak defense against the three-pointers, which what he basically lives and dies with. And so I do like the over on this. The line is at 15.5 at most books, so you do get a little bit of a discount here with Evan Fournier on Prizepicks at 14.5. And again, he can get hot at any time, so it's just one of those things where I feel like with his success, the matchup that's good, and looking at the schedule where we have, Chicago at Milwaukee, which we don't have anything up there yet because Chris Middleton's out. We got the Clippers at Denver, which is a tough, environment there. And then, Golden State or Orlando. We don't really have a whole lot to choose from here. So I think this Knicks and Atlanta, we can take advantage of a little bit of the situation here. Bogdanovich is questionable as well, which is only going to help the Knicks. And Atlanta is favored by 1.5, and it's a 226.5 over under. So we should get a competitive game in this one, hopefully. Again, we still got about 3 weeks left in the NBA, but yeah, Evan Fournier, 14.5 points. The next one we're going to go to is we got two plays. They're both first half plays here. Like I said, I had to get a little creative because I really wasn't like anything on the board. So I thought I'd slide over here to the NBA first half plays. And there was two that kind of stood out to me. Maybe you want to dig a little bit deeper into them, but there was two of them. One was with points, and the other one was with fantasy points. So the first one with points, not one that I'd normally go to, but it's going to be Mitchell Robinson here. Mitchell Robinson over 3.5 points. Not like a guy that you known to be this massive scoring threat, and he's not, because he's not putting up a ton. But in the first half here, he's went over this mark in 10 of his last 11 games. And I think it helps, he's more of a first half player because his minutes are definitely going to be more secure that way. He's played 14, 13, 15, 12, 18, 12 minutes. The one that he did miss in that 10 of 11 games, he only played 2 minutes in that game. So honestly, he went at 10 out of the last 10 games. If we take the complete minutes, he's put up 4, 4, 7, 5, 4, 10, and then that 0 with the 2 minutes, and then 6, 6, 4 points. So he's just had really good success, honestly, all the way through March. And it just kind of stood out to me a little bit. The shot volumes are never going to be a ton. He gets a lot of putbacks and maybe some lobs here and there. But 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 4, then that 0, and then 4, 3, 3. So he's not going to get done on a ton of shots, but a lot of his shots are dunks, high percentage shots. So yeah, if he's going to get around 13, 14 minutes and we can just try to hope for 2 buckets, I kind of like that. And especially the success that he's had. And there's no Nerlens Noel either. So again, it should just solidify his minutes there in the first half. So I like this over. The second one we're going to look at here is going to fantasy points first half. And we're going to go down and we're going to look at Alec Burks. 11.5 felt too low. Kind of dug into the numbers a little bit with him as well. He's went over this number in 5 of his last 6 games. We know the minutes are going to be there. Derrick Rose is still out. And 17, 15, 16, 16, 16, 19, 14, 17. The minutes are there. And he gets shots. He gets a steal here and there, assist, rebounds. He kind of fills it up. So 11.5 is not a stretch there like we've seen here. 17, 7, 15, 13, 13, 22. And then we had a game where we only put up 5 against Sacramento, but that was a game where that was also the same game that Mitch Rob struggled at when we had two minutes. And then before that, he had 20. So yeah, it just felt like a little bit too low. They're going to continue to push here going up against Atlanta. I think it's a matchup that, he can look at to, Trae Young doesn't play any defense at all. So, and with, Bogdan maybe sitting as well, maybe just have to be even more offense for Trae Young. And we could see just that open up things for Alec Burks even more. So yeah, this number felt a little too low. I felt this number should be closer to, 12.5 or 13. So I felt like there was a little bit of meat left on the bone for that one. So the 3 official picks here that we got on this early video: Evan Fournier over 14.5 points, and then the 2 first half plays of Mitch Rob over 3.5 points and Alec Burks over 11.5 fantasy points. And then if you wanted to look at the 2 guys I was on the fence with, Reggie Jackson over 33 fantasy points, and then Marcus Morris over 25 fantasy points. And I lean Reggie Jackson that if you're looking at maybe take one, but was a little bit nervous about both of them that we're looking at. And if we're going to do one more bonus one, I was looking at Jokic here, and I was like, 28 seems pretty good. And the crazy thing is, I went to go look at his stats, and they look pretty good first half fantasy score for a lot of teams, like Washington smashed, put up 41. But then I was looking at the last 2 times that he played the Clippers, right? And he played them twice in January, and he actually struggled a little bit. On January 19th, he played the Clippers, and he only put up 22 fantasy score. Shot 5 for 10, played 18 minutes, and then he played them back on January 11th, and he only put up 19.6 fantasy score. Only shot 4 times, 3 for 4, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. So maybe this is something you want to lean under here. I mean, he's done it really well against some teams and not well against others. And that game on January 19th at 22.9, he played 18 minutes, and it was a home game as well. The one on January 11th was an away game. So something to consider there. I was looking at, maybe taking the over, but then looking at the stats going up the Clippers, I was kind of surprised he struggled there a little bit in that first half. So not going to touch it, but something I'd mentioned in just my research this morning. So Taco Tuesday. We'll see what they put up on the board for the tacos. That's always nice to match one of those with some of our plays that we like. And hope you guys have a fantastic Tuesday. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.